What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Blank Space episode 7? 7?
7 or 8, something like that.
I'm Joey.
been at
Joining
it.
me today in his Lakers jersey, the great Bambino Dre. How we doing, Dre?
Hello. Doing good. Back hurts, but enjoying my Sunday.
That's called getting old, brother.
Yeah.
Also joining us today he's a UW graduate, Seahawk loving, Kobe Bryant admiring, Tay Rowe.
I appreciate you for having me. Appreciate you for having me. Welcome.
Joe just was reminiscing to Bruce Buffer's intros last night.
Yeah, we're gonna get into those UFC fights, man. So we're not gonna talk about how we watched them, but we'll get into those for sure. How's everybody doing this morning? A morning pod, a little early for us, boys.
Yeah,
it's good. Rise and shine. Well, they say
yeah.
early bird gets the worm. I think.
Got a cup of coffee right here.
Hey, only way to do it. I know. I went to go make my coffee and I didn't have any creamer, and I was so mad.
Creamer, I barely know her. Yayo.
crumble from Starbucks.
What?
Oh, bougie.
Mocha cookie crumble frappuccino
Bougie.
with oat milk.
All right, fellas. Well, we're gone fishing. What caught your eye this week in the world of sports? Dre, why don't you start us off?
Okay, well, I gotta bring out my notes because I am not schooled in this. But what caught my eye, man? What caught my eye was the freaking Masters starting up. Okay, so reason that caught my eye. I'm gonna speak on this. So my cousin, I work with him now, and just over the last year, he's really taken up golf, gotten into golf. He's always went to the driving range and whatnot, but he's going on a weekly basis right now. And this man was streaming it at work at his desk, and I'm just okay. So it's really like that. So I've known about that. I follow my sports. I'm not just the three mains. I follow everything, but I'm not schooled in golf, hockey, tennis, any of that, right? So this man's watching it in depth, at his desk, locked in, and I'm like, okay, so this is the Super Bowl. This is the Olympics for golf. Okay, so, and I know it to be a big one, but it kind of got to me because I was just like that. I grew up with him. He's a football, baseball guy, growing up, and he just recently took up golf, and just once you're in there, how much it draws you in. You know what I mean? That's kind of all I'm getting at. But beyond that note, the Masters just caught my eye through Saturday. McIlroy was -12. DeChambeau was -10. Got a few other guys such as Jason Rose, Scotty Scheffler,
That prick Patrick Reed.
John Day. I think his name is John Day. Morikawa is making a little bit of a pushback. Okay.
Isn't he from
Yeah.
around here? Morikawa? I think he's from Seattle. I don't know. Don't shoot me.
Couldn't tell you that. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see some of those names though at the top. You know what I mean? Golf is for the most part, you get a couple at the top maybe, and they finish somewhere, but you have a new person winning it almost all the time. I feel like, and making a name for themselves. You know what I mean? But McIlroy, DeChambeau, Rose, Scheffler, Morikawa, Reed, Day, heard of all of these guys. So, and I barely pay attention. You know what I mean? So, But yeah, that's what caught my eye this week. Just that starting up and how much attention it gets, and yeah.
Nice. What about you, Tay?
Well, first off, Dre, I love that you brought that to light, and I don't know if it's the universe, but as my knees and ankles start to go bad, and they're like, "You got a few more years to hoop, brother. You got a few more years." I'm like, I need an old man sport. So,
Yeah.
fellas, we should start golf together. Just saying, that'd be dope.
I'll say too, just real quick on that. I've always went to the driving range since I was even a little kid with my dad, and then for a few years there, I got a couple drivers at Goodwill.
Yeah.
And I'd go to the range and whatnot and just try and tee off. but I don't know. I have no finesse in any sport. I just have power. So never really got out on the course. I've went out twice with two different cousins of mine, Jake and Blake. And the second time I went out with Jake was a few years back, but he said he's like he did actually pretty decent. So I don't know. I kind of want to get out there too. It's fun when you do not shank the ball. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it. Put it on our bucket list. All right, what caught my eye? So I kind of yes, go ahead play that bad boy. Go ahead play that bad boy.
I don't know
Yeah,
if we can
so
play
this
the volume.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So this is crazy. So this is the very last seconds, and you can just see poor Houston,
What
man.
happened here,
Like
man? Let me know if you want me to
so
pause it.
yeah, so he comes on the side and he's coming up here to grab the ball, the guard, and then he picks him. And then he comes up right here and pause. Oh yeah, so that's a horrible shot selection right there. I think that was a broken down play. I didn't think he meant to get all the way out there on the three. And I think when he got way out there on the three, he was worried about the time. So you can see he runs out right there, catches it. Oh, yes, look how far he is. And look how much time is left on the clock. 4
Is that
seconds.
Clayton? Is that Clayton coming at him too?
Yeah, yeah. So he had a little bit of distance on Clayton. He could have really, if wanted to, like pump faked and drove in and took the shot. But I think that wasn't meant to be that far out. That he caught it on above the
Let's slow it
3-point
down.
line. Yeah.
See if
So
we can
right here, I
see him.
love the screens. They screen here, goes out, catches
Who was
it.
taking the shot?
They wanted Sharp to take the shot. So see how Sharp's down on the baseline right now, number 21. He swings up. See how he set that pick right there at the key?
Oh.
So he had that shot, but I don't think it was supposed to be that high up. It was supposed to be a little bit closer. So yeah, when he shot that shot, he first off, he wasn't looking at the clock because he had 4 seconds left. Like he did not have to shoot that ball. And when he shot it, he was forced to shoot it. He went up already, right? So he went up, and then as you know, you can't touch that ball, right? So he realizes he can't touch the ball. Clock ends there, and it's game over. So I think with this, and this has been Houston's actually been pretty well at it all year, but it was just the pressure. Like he buckled under pressure. He thought a little bit too much. If the play wasn't there, he had 4 seconds to reset. Could have pump fake, drove out, had the nice shot that he wanted. But again, that just shows like at this stage, like NBA, those guys are trained for these moments. College, it kind of shows that they're a little bit human, and they're kids, right? Like this is the biggest shot of their life, and going up to it. So it just showed the nerves. I really thought Houston played the better game, but what really killed them is if we look at their stats. Jawan Roberts, their big man, number 13 for Houston, only 8 points. Milos Uzan, number 7, really electric guard that gets them a lot of points, only 6 points that game. Emmanuel Sharp, the one that we just seen try to take the shot, he's usually their 3-point shooter, so it makes sense they got it to him. But he went 3 for 11 from the field, and then 1 from 7 behind the arc with only 8 points. So he had no business like shooting that ball at all. Everyone just was cold. And then LJ Cryer was the only one above 10 points with 19 points. So they are usually a scoring team as well. That's ultimately they lived and they died by the 3 that game. Also credit to the Gators, man. Like the Gators had 13 turnovers. 13 turnovers. And as you know, like it's a game of possessions. If you turn the ball over that much times, like you should lose that game. So that's a credit to their defense as well, too. So Florida played great defense. They also didn't shoot well either. But ultimately it came down to that last play. Shout out to Florida. I seen some people climbing. This one guy was climbing a flagpole, like Philly that one year, and just fell down. Like, I love to see it. Glad it's not me. But yeah, shout out to Florida. I hope Houston could get back next year. I love Coach Sampson, and yeah, March Madness was definitely mad. So that's what caught my eye.
What was your the final percentage of your bracket?
Oh yeah. Let me see right here. Just let me pull it up.
Did you have
Didn't
you had Florida winning? Too?
I had Florida winning. Yeah, I had Florida winning. And I had the Final Four correct, and the Elite Eight. I think I had like one or two. Yeah, one team that was not in there. And I finished at 98%. 98%.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun. It
Really?
was fun. I
No,
went
so
up to. Go ahead.
two things I saw in that play, that highlight Joe had up. Dude on Houston was trying to be the hero. And the true hero of the whole entire tournament, Mr. Walter Clayton,
Yeah.
was the one that D'd him up at the end there. That, I mean, of course it was. Of course it was.
Yeah. No, storybook ending, great ending. I think they should have let LJ Cryer shoot the ball. But Sharp, even going back to the last game they played in the Final Four, he hit like 3 daggers that kept them up. So I think Coach Sampson was a little bit reliant on him. But you live or die by that 3, man. That's this generation, right? Like so. They definitely died by it. But fun game. I loved watching it.
Yep, that was exciting. I'm gonna pause that highlight. I would say what caught my eye this week was the firing of Mike Malone.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
out of
Yes. What's your
nowhere.
thought?
Well,
Random.
I don't know. I don't. It was like, I guess it was pre-planned from all the reports that were coming out. They had already planned on like moving on from him in the summer, and they didn't want him to go in the playoffs and have some success and then kind of get the credit for that. They weren't gonna. Calvin Booth, the GM, wasn't as surprising because it's just, they essentially just weren't gonna like renegotiate or re-sign him, because his contract was up after this year. So that was just pretty mutual. And I guess him and Mike Malone never really got along. There's just a lot of these like reports. The same shit happened when Luka got traded. Excuse me. The reports are like, oh, he doesn't work out. He doesn't take it serious. He smokes too much hookah. They were saying that Mike Malone was given special treatment to like Russell Westbrook, but still treating Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, and Jokic and Jamal Murray, kind of like pushing them and stuff, making them play, I guess. I don't know. What I do know is that there seems to be a pattern with Russell Westbrook and what, like, I guess Ty Lue's the only one that withstood the firing of head coaches, that wherever Russell Westbrook goes, the head coach seems to get fired. I think at this point in his career, he's accepted the fact that he's a bench player, but you can't play him in crunch time minutes. And that was a big thing that was that led up to the firing, I feel like, too, because Mike Malone was playing Russell Westbrook in crunch time minutes. That game against the Timberwolves, when they were up, he had a fast break. All they had to do was dribble out the clock. They were up by like 1, I think, or something. And he fast break, passed it to Brown. Brown passed it back to him. He blows the wide open layup, come down. He fouls, who was it? Jaden McDaniels or what's his name? Alexander Walker, one of those dudes in the corner. And then they just hit the free throws and win the game, and that really kind of just broke the team. I feel like it's surprising. That was the second head coach of a top 5 or top 6 team in the West that got fired in the last like month and a half, I want to say. First Taylor Jenkins and now Mike Malone. And it's weird, it kind of just was the icing on the cake of the whole NBA season. That's what caught my eye. And then Ja Morant's new celebration, I love it. I
haven't even seen him out.
He tosses a grenade. I think the crowd should go boom as soon as he fucking tosses it. That'd be pretty cool. But you remember when Ja Morant was supposed to be the face of the league for like 3 months?
Oh yeah, that's God.
I got another remember one here. Do you remember when Odell Beckham made that one-handed catch against the Cowboys? But we all came together and completely forgot that they ended up losing that game.
That I didn't even remember who they were playing.
They
Was
were
it in the-
playing the
I remember
Cowboys.
nothing about that game.
No. It was like a regular season game, and he made that nice ass catch. I was like,
Yep.
and then they end up losing. But I
Oh
thought that was
man.
funny. Well, you guys got any remember wins? As I pull up the next segment.
Definitely. I want to kind of go back to what you're saying too. I want to chime in a little bit on like the coach
Oh, yeah.
firings. Well,
that just pivots us into the NBA regular season wrap up.
okay.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I just like one, like it sucks. Like I hate when anybody gets fired. Like it's not good. Like we're humans, right? Like it's a lot. So first off, like I hate seeing that happen. Number two, I hate seeing it happen when somebody comes in and wins a championship for the city. Like even though they're having a tough season or making wrong decisions, like you still can't forget the fact that that man brought a championship to the city. And I think our lifetime, I don't remember the Nuggets ever winning. Correct me if I'm wrong. So like I think you have to put a little bit of respect on his name. That's my second thought. And then third is kind of a question for you guys. What happens to Joker now? Does he leave? Does he stay? Do you think this is going to impact his decision? And we could probably get into that.
Mike Malone also got a tattoo of the Nuggets logo.
Yeah, I know.
Ouch.
So, yeah, he's gonna do a real good job coaching Wemby after Pop retires.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really
Ooh,
interesting.
that'd be nice.
Is that where he already went?
No,
Or
I can just see it happening.
Oh.
What Jokic? Yeah, I saw a post, a Photoshop of the Lakers, obviously, and then somebody was saying these Laker Photoshops are funny till they're like real, like because the Laker fans are always like, oh yeah, we can get anybody, but yeah, man, I don't know. I think since that Luka trade happened, anything's possible. Unfortunately, it'd be Austin Reeves, 3 first-round picks, Dalton Connect, all that, but it won't happen. I think what's ultimately going to end up happening is they have to end up trading one of 3 players: Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, or Jamal Murray. I think it's going to end up being Aaron Gordon because apparently the owners, the Kaminsky's or whatever their names are, starts with a K. The owners of the Nuggets have deep ties to like Missouri, and that's where Michael Porter Jr. went to, I believe.
Yeah.
So that
he's going to go to UW and then transferred.
Right,
I remember.
His dad. Yeah. But it's most likely that they're going to try to move on from Aaron Gordon, even though he's having a hell of a career year from beyond the arc. I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal Murray is involved in some trade talks too, because you just look at him the past few seasons, he doesn't really have the burst. He has it in spurts, but not like he used to, not like the bubble Jamal Murray. And even when they won the championship, he did drop 50 this year though.
Yeah, I think that sorry, Jared, one thing to add to Jamal. I think that ACL is really hurting more than people really have thought about. Like you said it, like he just doesn't have that spring, and yeah, dude could still score, but I don't think he could do that all throughout the season and into the playoffs, So yeah, I agree, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Dre, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, do you think like a combination of the Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, and a couple first gets them that solid player that they need to complete? Like if you keep Murray, Porter, and Jokic.
The issue with them is that you kind of see a pattern with the Nuggets, right? You've seen the reason why Booth and Malone are fired. I mean, more Booth than Malone is that they've been cheap. They have generational talent right there. Some say best center ever in Jokic, best player in the world at the moment, right? And they're not building around them. They still have the players that were from the championship team, and then they're just not really spending money wisely. They're not going out and kind of adding talent and bringing them in. They let KCP walk, which was shocking, Now he's not like an all-star, but he's good for that team. That's when they won the championship, is when they picked him up, So then just Reggie Jackson, that was a stupid one. Dario Saric, just people they could have kept, and instead of having to play Peyton Watson and players like that. No hate to Peyton Watson, but look at where they're at now.
I would say my thing there though, they had a 3 to 5 year run of being top 3 in the West, and the West is always good. So if you're top 3, probably finishing first 2 of those years with a great record and the MVP of the league, winning a championship, what is wrong with that last 5 years? Like and this is your down year towards the end of it, all those guys are aging. Porter Jr. didn't develop into what you expected him to. He's just a role player. Gordon's getting older and not maybe as athletic and so forth. Like, what are you expecting from them? They have a good group still, but it's different.
Right. And then when after they won the championship, they paid everybody, and then the new CBA, they're damn near. They don't want to creep into the second tier apron that we always talk about, or I try to give you.
Well, they're a second tier franchise, and they're lucky that they even have Joker.
No, you're not even. You don't understand what I'm talking about. There's
I'm saying
stuff. Okay,
they're not going to pay the salaries, is what you're saying, and I understand that.
They're not the second tier franchise anymore. Like in this new era of the NBA or whatever, obviously they're just not. They're locked up with cap. They're locked up between Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. They're owing them like $330-something million over the next 2 years or 3 years. It's not smart business. And like you said, Michael Porter Jr. hasn't panned out to what he was supposed to be coming out of college, and they just haven't. Like, it reminds me a lot of when LeBron was in Cleveland his first stint, and they were just like, "Whoa, you gave up what to get Antoine Jameson?" Or like you were just getting like how they got Russell Westbrook. That was like the Cavaliers getting Ben Wallace back in the day, just like, all right, here's a name, you can go out there and play. Or like Shaq when he was on his sixth team, like you have a once in a generation talent on your team right now, and you're not maximizing the freaking his talent. Like, you're not maximizing your window. You won the championship and you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. You let KCP walk. And Braun, he's getting you like 15 points this year. He's your win, but not Peyton Watson. Maybe he'll be a good player in a couple of years.
But so, like you're alluding to, though, when you didn't get the keystones, when you're paying the four people, Murray, Joker, Gordon, and Porter, when you're paying all of them money, how do you expect them to keep just good role players such as Reggie Jackson and such, and still be?
Because Reggie Jackson wasn't going to cost you anything. The thing is too, is when you win a championship, the NBA catches up so quickly. And Aaron Gordon was already older, and he's older now. And then you bring in Jamal Murray, who has done nothing but get hurt. So, and you're still content with that, though. You know what you're getting from Jamal Murray. It's 50 games a year.
I mean, I don't even know where Reggie Jackson's playing, and I want to say Russ didn't have a bad year for the Nuggets, right? For being just like a bench player,
so you're looking at stats. You're not looking at game, like how he affects the game, right?
That's fair.
A perfect example is that Minnesota. No hate, but the Minnesota game, like he makes his errors are loud errors, right? Like you notice them. It's not like just a quick turnover off a tip pass or whatever. It's fourth quarter. We're on a run. We just scored. We're down 4, and you get the ball, go fast break 1-on-3, and you get jammed up and you throw it to the corner and no one's there. Like, he makes those boneheaded plays, and hopefully no Westbrook fans come for me, but that I feel like we spent the good 10 minutes on the Denver Nuggets. That's disgusting.
Yes. Next.
What we got next?
So we got this. Let's wrap it up with the what else kind of stood out to you guys this year, as far as like, did any teams kind of surprise you?
I'm gonna go first on.
Yeah, go ahead, Dre. I got
Houston Rockets. No, I mean, listen. But they have a host of young talent. Don't get it twisted. I know they're supposed to be good, decent, whatever. For them to lock up that 2 seed in the Wild Wild West, that's solid in my opinion. That's all I had to say about that. Like, of course, OKC did their thing. Cleveland's nuts. All of the above, right? What surprised me is when really looking at how the standings shook out in the West, is the fact that Houston just stood still at number 2.
Go ahead. Right? Knowing you for as long as I do, I would have thought you would have said the Detroit Pistons, coming from a poverty franchise. Monty Williams, who, by the way, little nugget on Monty. Reports came out after he took that job. He had no interest. The last year when the Detroit Pistons only won like 16 games or something like that, he had no interest in getting to know the players at all. He was just there to collect a paycheck. And then you see JB Bickerstaff come in here, and now they're a playoff team. Like that, I don't know if that's like a surprise or it's just this like, hey, what other team out there that has just like a shit coach that's Washington Wizards, that could Toronto Raptors. Actually, I like their coach, but who's that next team that's going to take that like lead? Like you're alluding to with the Houston Rockets, like Ime Udoka, or however you say his name. He once he went to Houston, he transformed that team. They're gritty, they're scrappy, except they got Dylan Brooks, and Dylan Brooks is a bitch. But
I think you have a host of teams that could do it. You have like Atlanta, if they hold on to Trey, Risa Shea, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, and then they grab some type of big man in the draft. I don't know, or a big man huh?
Yeah,
said,
I hate Atlanta.
Yeah? Well, I'm just saying, you're Joey's thinking of like that young team that team with the right free agent fit.
It's not Houston.
It's our neighbors.
It's not Atlanta,
bro. It's
Portland?
That Portland Trailblazing team.
I
Shout
like
out
Portland.
to Chauncey Billups, who just got an extension today as well. I think Portland's next up in my opinion. I think Scoot Henderson has actually quietly had a really good season this year. Klingon, I think you can look to move Ayton this offseason if it's, they will never do it, but like you need to go to a center needy team or something like that. You can salary dump them. They have like 3 centers. They got Klingon, Robert Williams, and Ayton. I don't think you need them. And yeah, they're a Devin Booker away from being fun. They're already a pretty fun team. Like this dude, Tamari Kamara or something. Dude's a freaking defensive menace. He's right up there with Dyson Daniels with the point of attack defense. He's right up there with Dyson Daniels. I think Dyson Daniels is a steal too. I don't know why the fuck the Pelicans traded him in that DeJounte Murray trade.
They just had they had Herbert Jones and
yeah, but look at him now, man. This is what the 4th year in a row Zion's been shut down. CJ McCollum, like what, brother? Retire. Just go to the freaking NBA PA or whatever the fuck they call it. Like go be an announcer. You do a really good job, but your little 16-point bursts are not needed over there. You're just collecting paycheck. Same with Bradley Beal.
No, Zion needs Braun regimen, because if he does, when he plays, he's dynamic. It's been proven. Yeah. It's
but
not.
That's the thing. It's when he plays, Zion, he'll give you 38, 18 rebounds, and it's like, yeah, he's a beast, but it's just he just needs a fresh start, man. And I think he needs a fresh start with that jersey you got on right there. I think it'd be pretty.
Joel Embiid's a similar player, and he's won an MVP. So I still have room.
Oh man, you remember when Joel Embiid was supposed to? He got ramped up about 7 times this year, and then each time he got closer to playing, it was there's a setback. Oh, there's a setback. Like Joel Embiid.
That shit's ugly.
One of you guys said there was a stat last night when we were watching the fights. Melo has played more games than Joel Embiid since 2015 or something like that, or ever since he came in the league. Yeah,
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, and he's been retired for a couple of years, so let that sink in. What about you, Tay? Anything you want to, as we get ready to move on to the next part of our show, anything you want to wrap up with the NBA regular season?
Yeah, I would say 2 things that stand out. I really want to do 3, but 2. Let's stick to 2.
Fuck it, let's do 3.
Okay, one is, you guys know I'm a big fan this year of them. Who would have thought last year we would say OKC would be standing number 1 in the West, and they would only lose 14 games. And I think at home they've only lost, what was it? Like, remind me. I think
should have been 15 games.
Yeah. But at home, very, very, very small number. I know it's below 10 for sure. So that's one thing that sticks out. Good shit, SGA and the OKC. Not a household franchise, but they're
they were the 1 seed last year.
They were missing
last year, and they added Hartenstein. That it was. Let's just say it was expected. I get what you're saying. Your shout out.
Yeah.
And I might hate him, so I'm always gonna give you little give back on that shit. I fucking can't stand that team over there, bro. That fucking gosh, man. But I respect this.
I'm curious to see how they play in the playoffs. That's gonna be the test.
I'll tell you what. There's a team that they don't want to see, and there's yeah, man. It's gonna be freaking entertaining. I can't wait.
NBA
Looks like
NBA playoffs are back.
yeah, we do got
Um,
to real quick. I do want to say this game between the Clippers and Warriors today. If you guys don't have it marked on your timesheets or whatever it is, 12:30 Eastern or Pacific time, tune in if you can, man. It's gonna be some good basketball. All right, Tay, I'm very sorry for that.
No worries. So number 2 and 3, second is man, the Warriors turning their season around. That really sticks out to me. Not the biggest Warrior fan, as you know, I'm a LeBron fan, so it's hard even coming out my mouth, but
Hey,
watching
yo.
them, watching them, turn their season around, not just from like the player standpoint and the performance standpoint, but from the organization standpoint, going out and getting Jimmy Butler, being able to realize that they need to kind of shake things up. So Warriors definitely stood out this season. I think they have a great franchise, great front office, great culture with Steve Kerr and long vets like Steph Curry, Draymond Green, etc. So that's the second one. Third one is KD and the Suns. I say this all the time. Biggest Phoenix hater this year just because I would like to see them do great, man. Like they got all the pieces there. KD, Book, Bradley Beal. On the opposite side of a good franchise, they're a bad franchise. Sign that deal with Bradley Beal where they can't move around much players. So the coaching is great there. Like so, just very disappointed on the Phoenix side of the house. That's one thing that stand out this season for me as well. That's the last one.
Yeah, man. Just to touch up on that Golden State topic or thing that you brought up. Yeah, since that Jimmy trade, they were a bottom 3 free throw team, and since Jimmy got there, they're now top 3, and he's getting 38% of his points from the free throw line. So all that SGA free throw merchant stuff, I think it needs to be redirected to Jimmy Butler because it's ridiculous, man. And then I just also want to touch up just the overall the overall season has been really exciting. I think just with the emergence of all these young players, it's been really the fucking Celtics, Lakers, Cavs, Warriors. They shoot like 63s a game. I think the game is just evolving. If you don't
And they're
like it,
making them. And they're making them.
They are making them. I think the emergence of call it bias. I think the emergence of Austin Reeves has been really awesome. I think he's really once LeBron leaves, if the Lakers hang on to him, I think you're looking at a 25 per game possible all-star caliber player. Like he has a bag, and I think with if Luka can make it to the all-star, and Luka's a beast, and just these players that don't necessarily have the dunks because it's an all-star game. Who really gives a fuck about the all-star game anymore, to be honest, But I'm just saying he could be that caliber of player. I think it's been really cool to watch him really kind of grow up because I've been watching him since he was on the with the Russell Westbrook Lakers and LeBron when Darvin Ham was playing Cam Reddish over him. It was really, really sad to watch. And I think Cleveland just kind of establishing himself and really going for the number 1 seed this year. He's been really fun to watch. I think they're a fucking powerhouse that just gets slept on. Evan Mobley should be defensive player of the year in my opinion, and we can get into that later, but he's a monster.
Even Jared Allen too there. Like they have a good culture there too. I love watching them play.
Yeah.
I got a hot for you, Joe.
Hold on, I just want to give one more shout out to Kenny Atkinson because when he had when he was coaching in Brooklyn, when they had KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, he was the problem, right? Goes out and gets fired. I'm glad he got another shot in Cleveland, and look at him now. He's first seed, one of the best teams in the NBA, if not the best, record-wise. And I just think it's good to see, this player empowerment era really kind of fucks some coaches up. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. What's your hot take, Dre? And then we'll get on to the award season. Hot take, Dre. Let it go.
Outside of what he did off the court, I'm going to say that Josh Giddey has more potential for the White Boys on the court
than Austin
Reeves.
Oh my goodness.
I don't agree with what he did off the court, but on the
I'll
court,
take your money on that.
I
I
think he
want to
has
get in that
higher
bet
skill,
too.
higher potential.
Yeah.
That's just me.
And
I
again,
do. I like how I like Giddy for sure, but I think Austin's just on a whole different tier.
mhm.
But yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
Think
Dre.
about it though. If they forget about
Explain
what
why.
he did,
Explain why.
he is. Well, I said, think about it. If they forget about what he did, and he gets his 25 to 35 minutes per game over there in Chicago, they're already ascending. They're in the play-in this year. Not ascending. They actually descended. They've been a decent franchise over the last few years. Yeah, I just see. I mean, he can walk a triple double almost. So with the right playing time and the right mesh of a unit over there, I feel like it's what he was supposed to be doing for OKC before he fucked up. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then compared to Reeves, like even if LeBron stays, LeBron goes, if he's second to Luka, like he could move up still, like you're saying, Joe, to a 25-point score, which is still nice. But I think an all-around game of like a 15, 8, and 8 from a Giddey, 28 and 8 from a Giddey over on Chicago is more.
All right. Do you watch it, or what are we talking about here? 'Cause
Huh?
I mean,
20.
I don't know.
Since they made the trade, Giddey's been getting PT for Chicago.
Yeah, but
They
since
traded
the Lakers-
Levine.
The thing is I mean, I'm not the only one saying it, you know, like there's a reason why the Lakers with LeBron and Luka on the court, they run shit through Austin Reeves in late game situations. I just think they have a lot of faith in him. And yeah, he is a little bit older. He is 26. He's about to be 27. Was it March, April? Is it April? Yeah, next month he'll be 27. But yeah, 4 years, like you said. I get where you're coming from, but I just don't see it.
I'm just trying to spark debate. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
your debate
Stand 10 toes then, Dre.
absolute dog
Huh?
shit, in my opinion.
Stand 10 toes.
all right.
Absolute
Then
dog shit. I mean, I get what you're saying. He can average a triple double, Josh Giddey, but what does that really ultimately lead to? You know, we're talking about game change. Like Josh Giddey's. There's a reason why during the playoffs last year, OKC kind of sat him when they were playing against Dallas in crunch time, and why they traded him for Alex Caruso. There's a reason why the Lakers haven't traded him. There's a reason why the Lakers haven't traded Austin Reeves. I don't know.
Can we get
Debatable.
like a versus?
How about we
a
Can we
verse.
get that versus panel? Because this is good. This is good.
Uh-oh. Ding ding ding.
No, I was just we could always come back to this in like
yeah.
a couple years, but
I mean, once Coop gets into the league, they're all effed, so it don't matter.
no, that's gonna be interesting. He's gonna be really fun on Washington. I think that's gonna be a fun team.
He's not
Really
going.
fun. Where's he going then? Professional.
We could talk about
expert?
that too. We could talk about that too. I have some things on that because
Yeah,
they're talking
they'll
about.
get that, and then we can talk that. That's later.
Yes.
Later.
It's just lottery.
I'll hold
Well, he's
because
going to
I
Washington.
could talk about it. Because they're talking about he should stay and do an NIL deal. He'll make a lot more money. But on the other side, that delays his time from getting to a second contract to make even more money. So
he's not staying at Duke.
I know.
I'll
People,
bet $1,000 he's not staying at Duke.
people are saying that though, and I'm like, that's crazy to say. Like,
fucking
the man's definitely
insane,
going to the
bro.
league, but
He'll make all that NIL deal with the fucking sponsor.
Gatorade, Nike, yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
Just get in there. Get in there.
Yeah.
All right,
Go ahead.
fellas.
But I could talk about. We'll table that. I'll talk about that.
Yeah,
later.
when maybe halfway through the playoffs, you're gonna give us a nice hour episode of NBA draft prospects.
Yes.
You heard it
So,
here first, guys. Hold them to it.
Going into awards season, I mean, you just said that was a kind of a debate there, right there. So Austin Reeves with his 25 points ascending, or Josh Giddey with his potential triple double ascending. MVP. Are we going with Joker with his triple double averaged as a center, or are we going with SGA and their crazy record and him leading the league in points?
Well, you just go ahead. You got it.
Well, I'm just saying that. No, I don't.
I'm going Jokic.
We knew that.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
that's just my opinion. I could see how Shea's gonna get it, but I don't know.
you actually touched. We were talking about it a little bit off air, Joe, but
It just still feels wrong that a guy averaging 30, 13, and 10, shooting 66%, like true shooting percentage, and has the on and off, like historic on and off. When he's on the court, they're one of the greatest offenses ever. When he's off the court, they're literally bottom of the fucking league. Like, what are we talking about? That's just how I feel. 60-point triple double from a center who still doesn't get his flowers. There's motherfuckers still not giving him his flowers. Obviously, Shaq's a hater, but he hates to motivate. Kind of like how you seem to be doing, Dre, to motivate me to fucking school you in these debates. I'm just kidding.
no.
But that's my
Okay.
2 cents.
So, and then the only thing I'll touch on, and then go ahead, Tay, for 2 minutes if you have to. The only thing I'd say on that, so if OKC wouldn't have finished with such a dominant record, and if SGA wouldn't have finished as the leading scorer with some good stats behind it, defensive stats, decent amount of assists, all of the above, then I think there's not even a question. It's Joker again, right? But then you get into that conversation of, and we'll do some parallels to like baseball here, the Shohei Ohtani treatment. I don't want to see Joker get it every freaking year. I don't give a shit what he does. You know what I mean? Like spread the award out. The LeBron treatment too a few years back. However you want to call it. I don't like to see the same thing. Like unless they're doing something astronomically different, like he was putting up crazy numbers and finishing number 1, and he got the MVP. SGA put up crazy numbers this year. They finished dominantly number 1. He should get MVP. It's that simple. I don't care what he did stat wise for Joe.
That's how I feel. I feel that's how they do it. That's how they do the most improved player of the year. It's not that. It's now the hey, who's the highest draft pick that hasn't bloomed that's having a blooming year. That we'll just throw the most improved player of the year, Cade Cunningham. But yeah, go ahead, Tay. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I would say just everything you guys are saying. Like, I think it's gonna go to SGA, not just for just performance, but NBA just loves who has the clout, right? Like, who has the clout, and who is the better story, and like seeing an emerging star in SGA really, kind of take that next level, and the record that they had, just like Dre said, sitting at the top of the West, and the way that OKC continues to play, even when they know they're locked in, they just play hard every night. So I think this comes down just again how the NBA is. Does it really matter solely on stats? Who has the clout? Who's the better story? So that's the reason why I'm going with SGA. Now, if we're going just stats, like true basketball lovers, like of course, like Jokic is doing things that have not been done on the court or on this earth. But the guy's boring. He's just a boring person, right? Like he wants to go home and ride his horses, right? Or whatever he does over there. So he's not as fun of a story as SGA. And again, NBA is a business. They have to be marketable. So they have to bring in that viewership and that audience. So I think that's why it's going to go to SGA.
Yeah, but I guess SGA is also very hideous to watch play basketball.
That's why I love watching them play.
Yeah.
I have a question.
You probably also like James Harden when he played on the Rockets, huh?
I was never a James Harden fan. Don't do that.
Well, I don't know how you don't see the similarities right here. It's literally.
I think they're different,
bro. Anthony Edwards said it perfectly. You can't even fucking look at shot. You're gonna get fucking called for a foul. I see what you're
saying on the foul aspect. On the foul aspect,
it's just. I don't know. I think
Houston never finished one like that, though, did they? Maybe one year. 1 year they maybe finished like number 1, but not
so
with
like a
last
year
dominant record.
One?
Houston.
No, I'm saying Houston when they had when they had Harden. If you're drawing a parallel, that's the only difference I'm seeing is like they actually have a team.
Speaking of that, you remember when they shot 0-27 from the 3-pointer in Game 7 and versus Golden State Warriors, and they lost?
Yes,
and then.
I just feel like, but SGA has more of that dog in him. I feel like he cares a little bit more, and I guess you're saying like on the foul aspect, drawing the foul, like they're shifty, then they stop, and then they get fouled. So
Yeah.
that's just how they play. But
No,
I know
no,
it's
they
not
don't.
fun
They're
to
not
watch.
shifty and they stop. The guards in today's NBA, they run into big men and then they get like it's so ugly to watch. Like I don't enjoy watching it. And I've watched fucking a lot of games this year and it's terrible to see.
Yeah,
Very
for the
terrible. And
players
then
stand.
all I want is consistency, bro. Like if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna call that shit, then call it when the fucking forward does it too or whatever. Like it's just so hideous.
Yeah.
Steph Curry gets the call all the time. It's just hit Shea. Oh, I can't even fucking stand that guy when you're watching him play basketball. I can't
Yeah,
wait
from
to
the
see the
player
fucking playoffs.
standpoint, it's smart. It's smart basketball, but yeah, from the viewer standpoint, it's hideous to watch. Yes.
Yeah, very hideous.
All right.
Moving right along, we got defensive player of the year. I already said who I feel like should win it. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of Draymond Green fire or Draymond Green pulling ahead, but I really think Evan Mobley should win.
I
What about
like
you
that.
guys? And we can kind of go into the reasoning behind our things. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go
Dre.
Dyson Daniels,
I'm not
but
mad at that
obviously
one
they're not
either.
a winning franchise, but that's not MVP. So yeah, if it's just purely defense, should have been Victor, but he got hurt. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first person you said, Joe. I am gonna go Draymond. Just because, and I know playoffs don't matter, but I always put playoffs in my head is just like the guy not only he plays physical, but I think on defense you have to have that player that's gonna kind of, walk past you and talk something in your ear. You know what I mean? And then you go 1 for 10. You know what I mean? So I think that's a huge part of the defensive game, the intensity, the shit talking, and then of course the stats to back it up. And I think Draymond's all of that, and we've seen him do it year in, year out. Also, he is in the 98th percentile in the defensive estimated plus minus, so in the EPM. So that's huge just to be in that 98th percentile, especially at his age. And yeah, he's averaging 5 defensive rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, on the defensive side of the house. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Draymond, just not more so with, of course, his statistics, but the guy just he be talking that shit, and I respect that. I like to watch that as well.
Yeah. I think Evan Mobley's actually right there with him. I don't know. It's pretty
Oh
tough.
yeah, no, I love Evan Mobley. I watched him at USC and with his brother Isaiah, and no, I love me some Evan Mobley. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but
I
I can't choose the same player.
yeah, no, I get it just for the sake of debate. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be surprised if Draymond won it, but I'm
Yeah,
definitely rooting for Mr. Mobley.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I saw a stat on Daniels where he had like the most games in a single season with 4 assists or more or something like that. And then I saw
nice.
he also had a game where he got like 9 or 10 not assists, steals, excuse me,
Steals.
steals.
Yeah, he's been getting some good steals. It's good. But unfortunately it's the awards are so they're
Cloudy,
defensive player.
cloudy.
No, it's defensive player of the year has essentially became over the last 10 years big man player of the year. Like you don't they very rarely do you get a guard to win defensive player of the year, like it's been Joel
Like
Embiid, Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis hasn't even won a fucking defensive player of the year. And
Lou
Yeah,
Dort
guards
didn't even win
statistically don't
for
get it. Yeah.
years,
Lou
right?
Dort has some consideration as well. I saw him in like the top 5, but I don't know. I don't think he won it last year. Victor won it last year, yeah? Yeah, Victor won it
Yeah.
last year. Yeah. All right. Moving right along to the most improved player of the year. Obviously, I'm just gonna give what's going on out there. They're saying Cade Cunningham is most likely to win this. And this goes back to how you guys feel about the MVP, That's just how I feel about the most improved player of the year. I just think that it's just a popularity contest, Like I don't know, from draft picks that haven't had good seasons, and now that they're having a good season, it's not the head coach's credit, it's this player because he's finally blossoming into what he was supposed to be. So now he's the most improved. I don't know. It's just always it's a little bit cloudy for my like cloudy as in not cloudy like popularity, cloudy with a D. Like it's just foggy, like it's just there's a lot of gray area when it comes to these awards. But yeah, who do you guys think's the most improved player of the year?
So I'm going to touch on your Cade Cunningham, Joe. I don't disagree. Obviously, he's balling this year, and my thing with Cade is more, I get what you're saying as foggy in that too, because no, there's comeback player of the year as well too, right? Or is that a different sport? Is there comeback player of the year? Or?
I think
No,
just
that's an
most
NFL.
improved.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
They
So
have
then
clutch player of the year. We didn't do that one this year, fellas.
if they don't do that, then so it could be like comeback player / most improved, whatever. Because the thing with Cade is he was picked number 1 and he was never labeled a bust. He's been hurt consistently over his first few years. They've been building up that team. You've seen it, like Ivy and Duran. Like they have a little unit, and it just so happened to work. They got one of the Thompson brothers. And so the fact that he just stayed healthy, and then all these guys are, finally starting to play together for a few years, like it makes sense that they're above average team and doing what they're doing, in my opinion. And Cade's been a hooper. Cade's been a baller, but I don't disagree either. He, like I said, because he's like hooping, you could definitely make that argument. Now, for mine, I'm gonna go with the Thompson brother that's on the Rockets. He had a pretty decent year his rookie year, but wasn't looking like that special. He's doing like crazy stats, crazy stuff this year for the Rockets, and part of probably why they're holding down that 2 seed.
I like that. I kind of jump in here. For mine, we talked about him a lot during this podcast. And Joe and I will agree. We've been seeing this for a while, so I necessarily don't know if it'd be most improved, but I think most improved on the big stage. I'm gonna go with Austin Reeves. I'm gonna go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I just think the impact that he's making, especially the whole season, right? Like even when they were struggling begin the season, up to the Luka trade, like he's consistently kept them at a stability flat line. You know, place. So I would say I'm definitely gonna go Austin Reeves. He just makes a huge impact on the court. Brings that electric intensity, and I think he is gonna step into, like Joe said, that 25 to 30 point player, 5 assists a game, and really throw a few triple doubles. So Austin
And a
Reeves
couple ankle snatches in there too.
for sure, and that the lobber.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Austin Reeves.
Hell yeah, I love it. I'm actually gonna steal Dre's defensive player of the year here. I'm gonna go Dyson Daniels. I think, and also I want to give what is it?
You already gave a most improved player, and you said Cade Cunningham.
No, I said that's who they think, like the media, like they project to win it.
My bad.
I also want to give a special shout out to Denny. I can't ever say his last name. He plays in Portland. Denny Adjija.
Oh yeah.
He's been sneakily hooping. Like I like. That's what I'm saying. I love what they're doing over there in Portland. They got not only Scoop but Denny as well, and then Klingon. But yeah, I think Dyson Daniels deserves a little bit of more recognition in the most improved player of the year than defensive player. I think he'll has a better chance of winning that. He's averaging a career high in points, 14.3, shooting a career high 49.5 from the field. So, and factor in his steals as well. I think he definitely deserves most improved, but like we always talk about, is it going to be a popularity contest?
He's Australian too, right? Dyson Daniels.
Is he? He looks. I can see it looking at his ugly ass right now.
I think he is. Yeah, and they call him the Great Barrier Thief.
Yeah,
that's an interesting nickname. Great. But yeah, just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, and then fucking Avdija. God, I can't never say his name. Sorry. 16.9 points, 7.3 rebounds for the Blazers this year.
Well, that's the Danilo Gallinari role right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. All right, moving right along to Rookie of the Year.
Ooh,
I will go first.
We might have the same answer, Joe. So I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Well, this has been a freaking tough one. But I'm going Stephon Castle. I fucking love Stephon Castle, dude. I think Stephon Castle is a gem. Dre knows a lot about Stephon Castle because I traded for him in damn near every single 2K franchise, and the dude's a fucking beast. I love what they're doing in San Antonio. I think LeBron, when he retires, then it will be San Antonio's time. But obviously, I'm a LeBron stan, so never anybody else's time. But I think if they could somehow end up with Cooper Flag, I would fucking shit myself. I think that'd be ridiculous. I think, you go ahead and take Vassell, Sochan, Chris Paul's expiring or whatever, and all your first round picks and move up and get Coop. Like, why not? That'd be awesome. I think, but yeah, back on subject. Stephon Castle's my rookie of the year. And I have, where is it? Where was my Stephon? I was going to show his dunks, and I just love his hair too. He's pretty cool. What about you, Dre? And Tay? Were we on the same page?
Yeah, we'll agree on that and go to Dre Day. But yeah, Stephon Castle, just to piggyback, had him for my rookie of the year as well. Like, electric dunker, as we know, and I think he really can get into his bag as well. And you guys were talking about young teams that are going to be coming up in the next year. San Antonio is one of my teams that I really think is going to really blow in these next 1 to 3 years. So I'm in agreement with you, Joe.
Just to further the Stephon Castle case, he does lead all rookies in points and field goals as well as steals. So he's really showcasing his two-way potential. And like I said, Dre knows all about that because he was a hound dog in 2K. What about you, Dre? Who's your rookie of the year? Risha?
Yeah, I don't have much to back it up, but I was going to.
Oh, no. I'll help you with that. He's been balling.
And I wanted to be different, but he started slow, but he's been hooping. So
he's been coming along really good. Mm-hmm.
I think he's averaging 14 points, 2 boards, 41% from the 3. Good numbers.
Let me see. I want to look up his last 10 because that's what I think he's really been. Okay, so April 13th, 6 points, 12 points, 38 points, but it was against the Nets. 36 points against the Bucks. He's having 12 points, 45%, 35 from 3. Not bad. I think
it probably will be cast.
It will. But I do like Zachary. I think he really kind of come onto his own. You know what? While we're on the topic, I just got to look up Alex Sarr's stats for this season because he was kind of quiet this year.
And why?
He's not quiet in 2K. That boy is nice.
No, he was. Boy. His last 10 has been really solid. 10, 7, 12, 20, 16, 10, 15, 8, 12, 22. But minutes have kind of averaging about 27 minutes. 30. Now he needs to get a little bit better at shooting the ball. But yeah, what do you need me to look up to?
Oh no, I was gonna say while you're looking that up, I was just gonna say I didn't know, but Stephon Castle has a 6'9" wingspan. It's just nuts. So, yeah, just a little tidbit.
We're Stephon Castle glazing right now. I know.
Can you imagine too if San Antonio? They may not. It's a lottery. They may win the first pick and get Cooper Flag. But could you imagine if they have back-to-back rookie of the years, the defensive player of the year priorly, what probably will be the MVP next year if he stays completely healthy, and then adding in Cooper Flag, you're instantly a top franchise again.
Yes. And Pop comes back healthy. Get well.
Get well too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on to close out our NBA segment with the biggest disappointments. Tay, you kind of touched up on it with the Phoenix Suns. And I would just like to say, I'll one-up you. The fucking Philadelphia 76ers, dude. Like, talk about a shit fucking sandwich right there. I mean, you should have kind of saw this coming with the Paul George signing. Like, what are we doing? You already have a superstar that doesn't play but 40 games a year, and you're bringing in another superstar or has been superstars. Can I call him that now? Is it fair? To kind of try to carry the weight, It's like, okay, you take Joel's left knee and you take Paul George's right knee, and then you might be able to make something happen, but you can't put both of them out there with a broken body, And poor Tyrese Maxey. He needs to go ahead and figure something out. And just to biggest disappointments, I would say Philly. And just one more thing on Tay's when he was talking about the Suns, I would not be surprised if Devin Booker wants to get the fuck out of there, because if he looks around, if I'm looking around and I'm Devin Booker, I'm like, all right, KD, you're most likely gone. And you see Bradley Beal's happy ass on his phone, smiling, looking down. So this motherfucker's staying because he has a no trade clause and he loves the hot weather. You know, so I'm out of there if I'm D Book, man. I'm trying to go maybe to the LA Lakers. But I'm just kidding. What about you, Dre? Biggest disappointments?
Biggest disappointment was for me was the Bucks. I think Dame getting hurt.
Right hey, that's not his fault. Blood clots are
no, I know, but just not. They were not as good as they were supposed to be with making that trade, and then you went out and traded Middleton. Like he all of a sudden is just nothing.
For who?
For Kuzma.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Right.
Like, I don't know. That franchise hasn't ran it right since they got Giannis. That's the big thing right there. Could Giannis
firing Bud too,
brother? The other big thing is how the fuck does Mike Malone get fired, but Doc Rivers still has a job?
Yeah. What are we doing? Bud was a way better coach in my
hands. What Giannis? You think Giannis is going to be on the move?
No, I mean it's so hard to move that, but I mean he's gonna scratch, claw, tear because Lillard's old. Like low key, Lillard's like 36, 38, and I don't think once you get up there, you're not. Maybe he's not that old, but once you get up there, you're not trying to do it anymore. You know what I mean? Only certain people, such as like a LeBron and the best of the best, the people that are in really good shape. Lillard doesn't have much left now at this point. So
and that's Giannis's team. Like he could go get his third cousin hired if he wants him to come hoop. So I think Giannis stays at the Bucks just because he's owning that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got if you're the Warriors and you've wanted them for the last 3 years, I'd go ahead and package Jimmy Butler, what's his name, Kuminga, Moody if they still have him, and a couple picks, and I'm going and getting Giannis.
I mean, I'm trading Dame for Booker and throw some first-round picks on that motherfucker. If Giannis threatens to leave,
if that works, yeah,
I like that.
Quick little rumors. A lot of people are saying KD the Mavs. I think that's smoke. I don't know.
Don't do that.
Huge. That'd be huge. Clay, KD, Kyrie.
We already tried that. We already tried that in Brooklyn. Did not work. Don't try it again.
But see, AD doesn't need the ball. Clay's a spot-up shooter. It could work. They're all old. They played sparing minutes.
Watching that fucking
say, yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say I hate to say it, but it's like Joe said earlier with kind of Russell Westbrook going to the team. Like I feel like KD has that. KD and Kyrie, they have that thing. Yeah.
Kyrie kind of turned it around a little bit though.
He is, yes. But I see him just like Russell Westbrook, not just with the performance, but they just seem to make teams worse when they go there.
Yeah.
Watching that, who's gonna line up to grab these guys, bro? Like till they're done, they will grab them. Harden has a place in this league still, almost on I'd say 15.
They will, but they shouldn't. They will, but they shouldn't.
That's a sneaky good team too. The Clippers are fucking really good when Kawhi plays. Really fucking good. The metrics and shit back it up. Ridiculous. I want to just say
that NFL draft shit. Come on.
Huh? Oh yeah. Before we get to the NFL draft, I do want to give a quick we are saddened today. Did you guys hear about the news of LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacy?
Oh
yeah. Yep. Just want to give our thoughts and prayers to the family of Mr. Lacy and our condolences as well. Quick moment of silence for him. Okay. All right, fellas. And now we're going to move right along to the NFL draft segment. Have you guys been doing your homework? When is the draft? Next week? Shit.
It's coming up. Yeah.
2 weeks.
24th. Yeah, we got a little bit of time.
Cool. So at Blank Space, we decided to do a little 1 through 10 first round draft picks. And we don't have any graphics for it. We're just kind of go off of the draft order that it is. And we decided to just kind of make it a little fun too. If you guys have any trades in there, that's awesome. Trades are welcome, I do have a couple trades in mind. Yeah, okay, cool. Why don't you go ahead and start us off? God damn, Dre, the listeners. Can't be doing that shit. The listeners,
Oh.
not pleasing. Sound like a
Sorry.
fucking child. Tay, why don't you go ahead and lead us
Excited.
off?
Okay, number one pick. I wish we had the were they the little chime? Yeah.
Do we
Yes,
want to? Do
exactly.
we want to do before? Okay, we're just kind of. We haven't really. We're workshopping this right now. Do we each want to give our first overall pick,
Yeah,
or do
yeah,
we
yeah.
want to
Just
each
take
want to do
turns.
1 through 10? Okay,
Let's
take
do
turns
one
at number
pick.
1.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be awesome. Let's do it. Go ahead and
Okay.
lead us off. Trey.
My first pick, I think, is the best quarterback in the draft, the most poised, and I think the most NFL ready. I'm gonna go Cam Ward to Tennessee. First pick. He just seems like he is again the just best pick. I feel like in Tennessee, Tennessee needs a quarterback. They need a lot of positions, but I think quarterback is the most important. And I think in Tennessee, they need that nice, calm demeanor quarterback that's going to go in and give results right off the bat. And I think Cam Ward's going to do that. Is he going to do it the first year? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a 1 to 3 year thing. I will think he will go in and give them a better record, and they will play better. But I think it will take about 1 to 3 years for him to develop. He is just, of course, electric, fun to watch. He can escape the pocket, run, but he's also a lot more accurate than I would say a lot of these quarterbacks coming in. So I'm gonna go Cam Ward. It's a fun time in Florida, so let's go Cam Ward. That's my number one pick.
What about you, Dre? We'll go Tay, you, and then I'll do the end, and then we'll snake it. Or no, fuck it.
I like that snake. The snake.
Yep.
So for my number one,
hold on.
I went with Abdul Carter.
Interesting.
Cam Ward's good. I don't discredit any of his play. I think he's nice. I think he's going to be good. But for some reason, I don't think the NFL evaluators are super sold on these QBs to the point where either one of them has to go 1 and or 2, in my opinion. And like I have spoke on in prior pods, I think there's a few generational prospects and talents in this draft that if you're up there in the top 3, top 5, and they're there, you can't pass on those guys. If you even have a human being at quarterback, right? Like, you know what I mean? If you're starting your second, your third depth chart guy going into the season next year, you have a problem. Go grab a QB. But if you have somebody that can at least man the position, you can't skip out on a few of these guys. So I have them picking Abdul Carter. If I'm not mistaken, they still have Jonathan Simmons over there, right? That's his name. Jonathan, first name. Jonathan Simmons. I think if you pick Carter, because Simmons is more, he plays a tweener, I think. No, they don't have. Where's he at?
His name isn't Jonathan Simmons.
No.
It? It's
Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons.
No. That's a safety. It's a safety. Go ahead, continue. My bad. I'll find his name.
Anyway, like I think he plays a mixture of outside and inside, but like what that allows you to do, it prolongs his career, and for him being a dominant force, it allows you to really make a core out of your defense and go from there. And then, I mean, nobody loves him, but they still have Will Levis. That was a high draft capital pick, not but 2 years ago. Like, maybe they still give him one more chance. In worst case, they end up in the top 3, top 5 of next year's draft, grabbing Arch Manning.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey.
I hate hearing that guy's name, the quarterback, right now for Tennessee.
Yeah. Just to, I like that, Dre. I like that. I'm just under the impression that there's just too much smoke for there not to be a fire. So I have them taking Cam Ward. I don't like it. Like, I think I've been the biggest hater on these quarterbacks since day one. I've been on record saying that it's Cam Ward, and then there's a big drop off, then Shador, And then I even think there's a closer gap between Jackson Dart and Shedeur than there is to anybody else to Cam Ward. That's why I was up until maybe 2 days ago. I had Shedeur going in the late 20s, maybe even slip into the second round. But there's some news that came out recently that may have shaken up my draft board. We will see. But yeah, so Cam Ward, it's a start, right? If you're Tennessee, I think you obviously have to. You kind of took a chance with Will. Just I feel like you watched him play, and it was a fucking roller coaster each week. But I've always been under the impression that Tennessee will never have a good passing offense, like ever. I just think they've just been stuck in this weird system to where it's like, okay, we don't have Derrick Henry, but we're still going to come out I formation play and try to establish a run and get play action. Cool, all for it. But you can't do that with fucking Tony Pollard. You have to get a little bit of a beefier back. And they haven't done that in the offseason. They haven't really done much in the offseason. Just signed a couple defensive linemen, which is why I don't think they're going to go Abdul Carter, even though he's a game wrecker. But quick note on Abdul Carter. When I watch him, he ends up on his back a lot for a high draft pick. As far as like point of attack power, like he does have bursts and stuff, but when he can, let's just say he can get easily overpowered and pushed around. And I don't know if the Micah Parsons comparison is fair. I get the whole Penn State number 11 connection or whatever, but I would just like to maybe it is him and Travis Hunter though, in my opinion, as the number 1 and number 2 picks in this draft as far as talent wise. But I just think situational, they're gonna go and they're gonna pick Cam Ward at 1, Tennessee Titans. And you can lock that in.
And real quick, as the Tennessee franchise, like, how many first round picks over the last 3 to 5 years can you waste on a quarterback though?
But Will Levis wasn't really. Will Levis was wasn't he like a late first, or was he pick 8?
I'm talking Malik Willis the year or 2 prior to that.
Malik
he was a second round pick.
Early second, either way. Like,
who cares?
You're investing into that position and it's not working. Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
but if you could get a generational talent like Cam Ward, like why would you not do that? Like Cam Ward is a way higher ceiling than Will Levis and sorry, what was his name again?
Malik Willis.
Yeah.
This also though, but that's
higher.
a testament. That's a testament of the evaluators and also of these fucking colleges. It always goes back to this freaking NIL and shit. You can see with the Tennessee quarterback, like these kids aren't really going to the best program so they can like go ahead and get developed professionally. Like I think whoever goes to UNC, keep an eye on who goes to UNC over these next couple of years while Belichick's there, and we'll see their talent. Like that's going to be a really good factory, in my opinion. I'm biased, but
Didn't he like not sign or something? I thought I saw a report.
He did. He brought his son over there. That's what's going to end up happening, I believe. But we got to get back on track. But I agree with you, Trey. Too. Just to close out Tennessee, like this has to be it if you're Tennessee. Like you have to be 100% sure that this is going to work out with Cam Ward. And then I think you just start building around that. I think you invest the rest of your draft in the offensive line. And then who knows? Maybe make a trade.
Their offensive line is solid, Tennessee's. That's one thing they have going for them.
For sure.
Okay. Maybe one of these tight ends sneak back into the first round, get one of these cool tight ends. But moving right along, number 2, why don't you start us off, Tay? Cleveland Browns. Or do you have a trade?
Browns. I got Cleveland Browns. It's not pretty, but we know that he's going to get stuck in this city. I just know it's going to be but I'm going to go Travis Hunter, number 2 to Cleveland. I think, Cleveland is definitely defensive first. So, and it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like Travis kind of likes to play corner a little bit more. And I think with the size that he is right now, I truly feel like he does fit better at corner. Maybe throw him a little bit of plays on the offensive side as well too, if Cleveland's okay with that. But yeah, I'm gonna go Travis Hunter, number 2. If he falls there, it's like you got to take him, right? So Travis Hunter on number 2 pick.
I fucking hate that for Travis Hunter, man.
I
Like
know, dude.
I agree. Like I don't have him going there, but just a little teaser. But yeah, man, I fucking hate that. If you, oh my gosh, they don't. They just recently signed Joe
Plums.
Flacco.
I see that. I
So-
see that.
So they have right now. They have this is my hard part about this. So because I have Tennessee going Carter, I have Cleveland going Cam Ward. Hard to make that decision when you have. I mean, who cares about 38-year-old Joe Flacco, right? Kenny Pickett's there, right? They just made a move for him. And honestly, you draft Cam Ward, Deshaun Watson's getting absolutely dropped, released. I don't care. They'll eat the money. You know what I mean? Like
They're on record saying that they already made a mistake signing him in this offseason. So he
okay,
don't expect much
he's
from
done.
him. That's why yeah.
That's cool. So
He
then
had a
that makes me
setback
feel
as
better
well.
about this pick, right? So, and what you do with that is like, obviously, you're not challenging Cam Ward at all. If you pick him second, he is your starting quarterback. But you're saying, hey, Kenny Pickett was an early first round pick 2 years ago, and Joe Flacco like won us a bunch of games two years ago, when he was over here. So, and we're familiar with him. He's familiar with the franchise, the scheme, all of that. So you have your old vet backup, and you have a younger guy to go ahead and at least challenge Cam Ward a little bit, right? He's not going to challenge him for the starting job, nothing of that nature, but at least some QB competition. Not like, hey, Cam, we're going to draft you, give you the keys, and that's it. But no, I see them. They can't pass up on Cam Ward at that point on number 2. If he didn't go number 1, if they were having to decide to draft Shedeur at number 2 because Cam went number 1 and they really wanted a QB, I think they go Carter, Hunter, anybody else. But I think if Carter goes 1, they go Cam Ward 2.
All right. I have them going Carter. Teaming up with Myles Garrett, and then because to me, I don't think it's worth it to go and get Travis Hunter when you don't have anybody throwing him the ball. I think you kind of shore up that defense. Great Joe Flacco, no disrespect, no hate, Joe, because I love what you did for them a couple years ago, but you didn't look so good last year with the Colts, okay, bud? So, yeah, I think, and then next year, who knows, little Archie Manning, and they can still go quarterback later rounds, Jalen Milroe, like why not get a younger Deshaun Watson, a raw Deshaun Watson? I'm not going to say he was the same prospect of Deshaun Watson coming out of college. But you can Quinn Ewers, like take a chance on some of those quarterbacks. But yeah, I think if you're Cleveland, you need to you're losing your defense a little bit. Last year, they weren't as great as they were in the prior seasons. I think with the addition of Carter, and I still don't know if he's going to be healthy, ready to go week 1. I'll have to look a little bit more into that. So don't get mad at me, people. But yeah, I would just like him over in Cleveland because I just don't want to see Travis Hunter go there because obviously I don't want to see him in Cleveland. I think that would be good for Cleveland, get their star. But yeah, just not the biggest fan of Travis Hunter going to Cleveland. I know, and that's just hate. I don't know. I just fucking don't.
I agree.
But yeah, I have Carter going to Cleveland. And now we move on to number 3, the New York Giants. Tay, why don't you go ahead and start us off with the Giants?
Yeah, with the Giants, this one was it's a hard one. I almost said I think the Giants should trade this pick and get a little bit more in their arsenal. But however, I'm gonna keep them. I think since they're already there at 3, go get a high player. I'm gonna put Abdul Carter here in New York. So I think they really need that help on the defensive side. And if they could land a generational defensive player, especially at the line, I think they should go out there and get him. So yeah, I'm gonna go Abdul Carter, number 3.
I like that. That may mean Brian Burns is expendable if they do that.
And the only reason
ridiculous.
Only reason why I don't want to see it play out like that, Tay, and I'll challenge you, is they have Kevon Thibodeau, they have Dexter Lawrence.
Brian Burns.
They have Brian Burns. Like, that's actually
Yeah.
one of the last things they need. They're not going to pass up on a generational talent, or they will trade back, like you're alluding to. Either one of those two. Like, if Carter is the guy, they'll pick him probably, but they don't. It's not a position of need by any means for them.
For sure.
So that's why my draft shakes out the way it does, and I have them picking Hunter. He lands in the big stage of the Big Apple, New York.
Ooh.
They need so much help on the back end of their defense. He instantly comes in, hopefully becomes a lockdown corner for them. And then since you have Neighbors, he doesn't have to be anything special on offense, but you design him a few plays each game, maybe have him in there for about 20 offensive plays, give him about 8 to 10 targets if you can, and see what he can do with it each game. And that instantly makes them better. It gives them a Swiss Army knife. It gives them something, to replace Saquon, all of the above.
I like it. I like it. I have him trading. Moving back.
I know that was, yeah.
One spot to New England. I think the New England Patriots have a lot to kind of give up as they accumulated some assets. Think why not? Because I think they're going to dangle that, hey, we're going to take Travis Hunter here. And I think Vrabel really wants, even though everybody's saying Will Campbell, they need a left tackle. I just don't really like Will Campbell. I don't think there's a Joe Alt in this draft. I'm just not the biggest fan of him. Even though they did adjust his reach, so it is NFL ready as far as because they were saying he has short arms. So that's what I have. I have them trading back one spot, and I have them trading to the New England Patriots, New England moving up, and I have New England Patriots selecting Travis Hunter. I think he's exactly what they need. They signed Stephon Diggs, but they definitely need some more help out there. Matt Collins is solid, but he's just more of like a blocking and maybe like a short yardage guy. And I just think it'd be perfect for him. If they want to, they don't have to play him full time at corner. They can use him in the nickel because they have Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez. And I just think if you add Hunter to that team, that's the real Swiss Army knife. Is when you don't have to play him full time defense and full time offense. You can literally pick and choose when you want to play him.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he really would fit well in New England, and that could be a little bias of me. But yeah,
no, that's where I wanted to see him go is the Pats.
Yeah, and it to me it just hasn't shook it out that way. And ever since the last couple of weeks, ever since Shedeur started to drop, it just kind of fucked everything up. With the Giants, I just think the Patriots want Hunter, they have to go trade up for him, and I think that's what they've tried to do. They traded away Joe Milton. They got like a 7th round pick, but they have like 2 2s, 3 3s, and a couple 4s. So I think why not go big? And then that has me the next pick, number 4, will be the Patriots, but for me it will be the Giants. So why don't you guys go ahead and
that.
go that. What do you guys have the Patriots doing at 4?
Pick 4, I think really help Drake May. It's he's going into his second year. Help him really feel a little bit more comfortable back there. They got him Stephon Diggs. Possibly if they go get Travis Hunter, they got another piece. So you got to protect your franchise quarterback. So why not go get the best offensive tackle in the league? So I think they go get big boy from LSU, Will Campbell, 319 6'6", big dude. So yeah, go protect your quarterback. I think they go get a tackle and put him on the line and let him even be more comfortable into this second year. So I'm gonna go Will Campbell.
Piggybacking off of both of y'all, Joe, I want to see. I'm over
here on my screen.
Oh, you're over here on mine. So depending on how they're seeing it on theirs. No, I want to see Hunter on the Patriots as well. I think it's the perfect mesh, but I don't think he's lasting until 4, like you alluded to with the Shedeur drop off. So if 2 QBs were going in the top 2, then they need Carter or Hunter. So honestly, either one of them would be fantastic to drop to 4 for them. But I don't see it playing out like that. And so what I see them doing, they don't want to take that tackle at 4. That's too high. There's not a generational tackle in this draft. Like Joey said, there's a bunch of good ones, very good ones. They can probably come in and be maybe a Pro Bowl here and there, but are we talking a Penei Sewell, a Trent Williams type guy? No, I don't think so. Right? Maybe. We'll see. So I think they trade back. I have a trade alert. The New Orleans Saints are going to move up to pick 4
Shador?
to pick Shador Sanders.
Yeah, I've seen that rumbles.
And
Interesting.
my thought process behind that is even before the Derek Carr news, like you would have went into next season grabbing somebody nice at 9 with Derek Carr and seeing what you could do before he inevitably got hurt or lost 3 or 4 games in a row. You know, Carr's not the answer. He's done anyways. But now with the news of the injury, and you're already as high as you are at 9, you got to make something happen. And in my opinion, they have what? You have Olave, you have Kamara still. They have one of the better young offensive lines in the league. And they have some bright spots on defense still. They got rid of Lattimore, but they still have a good fair share on defense. They have a good team, right? If you plug and play that quarterback, I feel like it's the right spot for him. And then New Orleans is a good platform for him still. It's a big enough stage.
Like it.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, so you got Giants dropping, so your pick's Giants, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think they go Ashton Genty
Ooh.
Whoa.
to make up for the loss of Saquon.
Oh,
Even though I want to see him slip to like Sean Payton, that'd be really. I just want to see Sean Payton get a fucking good running back. It'd be so fun for fantasy. But yeah, I think even though they always say you don't draft a running back that high, but man, I just think you got to do something, right? You got to do something, and I think they lost Saquon. Tyrone Tracy's a good back, but is he the back? Like, is he the back like Ashton Genty could be for this team? Just a workhorse. I have a stat here. Let me get it for you guys.
See,
Out of avoided tackle rate leaders from the NFL draft 2025 running back class, 39.5% Ashton Genty, 36.6% Bayashul Tutin. Sorry if I botched your name there, bud. And then 34, it's another sleeper pick, Cam Scatabo. Little Danny Woodhead in him, I think. And then Corey Kinner. So those are little top 4.
You said missed tackle rate or something?
Avoided rate tackle, yep.
Okay.
34.1, 34.5. But yeah, I think Ashton Genty would be fit. That's what they need. I could also see them going Campbell. But I just think if they wanted to do that, that's probably what they will do if they ultimately, in my head, if they make that trade, because they need some help. But I don't know. Actually, no, I don't think so, because they have Andrew Thomas.
They've drafted Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal, Will
Evan Neal's dog
Hernandez.
shit though.
I know, but like they another team that spent so much capital at one position, I don't see him doing it again.
Yeah, so I just have him going Genty. I just think you just need.
It's fun. I like that.
It is fun.
Bright lights.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you need fun, right? If you're in New York, you just signed Russell Wilson. You can't. And Travis Hunter's fun though too. Like, don't get me wrong at all. So they like in both. I like how in all of our picks, the Giants go fun. So they
have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't have signed Jameis and Russell, you'd have to be stretching for Shador there at 3, no matter what, if he's there. But since they signed those two, like, yeah, they're probably not the answer, especially long term, of course, but it buys you some time.
Yeah. All right, moving along to number 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do you guys have them staying, moving? If so, what's your pick?
Go ahead, Tay.
Oh, I got Jacksonville at 5. I think they should go get Mason Graham. Really nice, defensive player from Michigan. Gets off that line really quick, and I played with him in Michigan. Weirdly enough, Michigan and Ohio were my teams in NCAA you know, football game this year, and I played with Michigan just because their defense, and man, that dude's a beast, not just in the game but on the field as well too. So excellent interior defensive player. And I think that's really what Jacksonville needs. Their defense has been horrendous, so they need to start building their inside out. So Mason Graham, number 5.
I actually really like that pick, Tay, because they have some good edge rushers. I don't know who's in the middle of their defense, though. So you plug in like a solid boy like that. They have great linebacking play. That could really elevate their defense. So I do like that pick. I went the opposite side of the trench, though. I think the very first offensive line pick goes number 5. That seems about accurate, right? Especially if there's not that generational one per se. And I think they go with the athletic guy here. I think they go with Armand Membu out of Missouri.
He's nice.
Yeah, I think. I mean, think about it. You have to. You got about one more year next season to see what that offense can do with BTJ, Trevor Lawrence, ETN, Tank. Like that. That's your unit. Give them as good of an offensive line as you can, protect them, do all the above, and see if it works. And if not, you blow it all up. And at least you started in the trenches this season. So
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely need some help. Like Trevor Lawrence needs some help on that line. So I like that pick.
I have them taking Mason Graham as well, just because they already have the 2 edges figured out. I think they extended or they picked up the option for Trayvon Walker. So they got Lewicon, Devin Lloyd. They already have Josh Allen Hines or Josh Hines Allen, whatever it is. And I think Mason Graham would be a good addition. They got to get back to what they were fucking, 7-8 years now? But start with the defense. But I can also see them doing the Campbell selection because I don't think they've re-signed Cam Robinson. Or I don't think they signed. Cam's gone. Yeah, so I could see them. They do need help. Like if you want, it's either way they're dog shit. So they just need to start somewhere. And it's going to be really telling on where they go. So I haven't taken Mason Graham.
They're not that dog shit when you think about it, though. You just pointed out they have a nice little defense, and they have
right. That's how you got to win games. The issue with them is their defense. It's good on paper, it doesn't translate to the field. So maybe they need new leadership. I mean, their linebacker was hurt for like 8 games last year. Lewicon, he's pretty good.
I think they could use something on the back end too. They have one cornerback that like made a name for himself, Campbell. But other than that,
Tyson Campbell,
but they're not actually they don't actually have like a unit back there. So with all everything they have up front, it's just they'd have to move back into the teens. Somebody from the teens would have to move up to 5 in a trade for them to take like a corner or a safety. I feel like maybe they could take Will Johnson, but I don't know. I don't feel like that's the right fit for them.
All right, let's get it moving because we are creeping towards our time, boys. We are at 5 right now. We got 5 more. Let's do the Raiders next. What do you say, Tay? Staying, trading?
I'm gonna stay there, and I love this pick. We got Pete Carroll there. Pete, one of my favorite players. Shout out to Hawks, baby. You brought one to the town. So I think he's gonna do some great things. But you never know what the guy's gonna do, right? So I'm not sure if this is gonna be the exact pick, but I just love it. I want to put Genty. I want to put Genty in with the Raiders. I think that would be great. Give Geno somebody to pass the rock to, and I think Pete would be the great coach for him. Like I really feel like Pete would really develop him into a great player. And again, another city, bright lights, would just be fun to watch him there. So I'm gonna go Ashton Genty to the Raiders.
I love it. A little quick teaser. I also have him taking an offensive player. Go ahead, Dre.
Ooh.
This is hard for me because it absolutely should be Genty. And a couple of things I'll point out to that, like running backs over the last 5 to 7 years truly haven't gone
Yeah,
super
they don't
high
go
in draft
early.
unless it's like the one, right?
Yeah.
And he is the one though, right? So he's going in the top 10 somewhere. That's almost a far gone conclusion. He doesn't in mine though. But some of my picks I was a little bit. I want to see certain players on certain teams, and that's just if they'll maybe there's some trades, whatever. But anyway,
Hey, that's your mock draft, brother. Yes.
But yeah, so I ended up going. You got Pete over there.
Yes.
You have Christian Wilkins. You have Max Crosby. You still drafted Tyree Wilson 5th overall. Not 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They have a few other linebackers they like. I don't know who plays corner for the Raiders, so I went with Will Johnson here.
Ooh, like that. I like that.
To me, like the bare minimum you're getting from Will Johnson is like I say, like a Marshawn Lattimore, Denzel
Physical
Ward.
boy.
No, but just like, okay, whatever Marshawn Lattimore was to the Saints over the last 7 years, 10 years, whatever Denzel Ward's been for the Cleveland Browns over the last 5, whatever Jair Alexander was for the Packers, like that's what you're getting with a guy like Will Johnson.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah.
And Pete, right? Quarterback. He just loves quarterbacks, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but it should be Genty, but like I just see him going deep. The cornerback position is kind of deep, but after Hunter and Will Johnson, it kind of falls off. Like they all make names for themselves, but then at that point, like, is it worth a first-round pick? So I think you grab him there, and you're gonna get a second-round valued running back in the second round, like
Hampton. Hello, it's like he's gonna go to Denver.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have them taking Tet McMillan from Arizona, wide receiver. I think once they see that Genty's gone, Giants take him. I think they're gonna try to just get. They need offense. Bauer. They got Jacoby Myers now. They got Brock Bowers. Ooh, Brock Bowers is good. Brock Bowers is a beast. But I don't know. I think they need more offense. Hunter's gone. Tet McMillan seems like the best option as far as like that way you can maybe help Geno kind of get established a little bit quicker because, like I said, Brock Bowers is a beast, but Jacoby Myers, we'll see if he can do it again. I have no faith that he won't be able to do it again. I think he will, but I think they need to get another receiver out there. So I think they go Tet McMillan, even though it's not the sexiest pick and probably even a reach at 6, but
yeah. I like that.
All the black he's getting, yeah.
All right, moving on to the Jets. Oh, that whole I don't watch film shit. That's nothing. 7, the New York Jets. What do you say, Tay?
Yeah.
Go ahead here, Tay.
I got, man, they need a lot too, just like Tennessee. But they got Justin Fields there. We know he's a little shaky. Whenever you have a team that really needs some rebuild, you got to start offensive line. Like Aaron Rodgers was out there just running around like a madman. So I think they go, how do you pronounce his name again, Dre? You said him earlier, Armand Membu?
Oh yeah, Armand Membu, I think.
Yes. Yes. I think the Jets go there, get a nice solid down south boy, to plug up that offensive line. And so I'm gonna go Armand 7.
Okay. So I thought heavy about this one. If the Saints didn't move up in my mock, Shadur's not getting past 7. Shadur will go 7 and play maybe 8 games behind Justin Fields. And then, yeah. But since Shadur is going 4 to the Saints because they moved up, because they had to get past the Jets at 7, and the Patriots were looking to move back anyways, right? Boom, 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 boom. Dude, I have the Jets going Tyler Warren. So you have Breece Hall.
I like that. Tight end.
You have Garrett Wilson. you have a line. You drafted Olu Fashionawu or whatever his name is, top 5, top 10 last year. If you're the Jets on the offensive line, so that's a little overkill to go O line. They have a defense in place, and they have a running back. They have a receiver. You start to create that 49ers of the AFC. God, it was just taking me a second, in my opinion. But then, I mean, you're missing that quarterback, but who knows what Justin
Yeah.
takes.
All
On the
right.
build.
I got the Jets taking. You actually took me. I'll do Colson Loveland. Fuck it. The other tight end. I do think they go. Huh?
Tyler Warren's still available on your mock. Why wouldn't they just take Tyler Warren too? Why wouldn't you agree? All right, my bad.
I did have him taking Tyler Warren. I do think they go offense because it just turns out Conklin isn't shit. So just to kind of speed it up, that's where I'm in agreement with you, Dre.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Still is done.
Carolina Panthers at 8.
Yeah, I feel like this, not much people have been watching him in the draft, and I think it's because he didn't go to a big name school, and he just hasn't really been in the starlight. But I really like the edge rusher from Marshall, Mike Green.
Mike Green.
So yeah, Mike Green, he's a dog, man. I went back and watched his clips and was like, let me see why he's not talked about. Is there something wrong in his game? And I think he's gonna have a phenomenal career. I think a lot of teams are gonna he's one of the players that are gonna drop to 8 and they're gonna be like, man, why did we not pick him up? So I'm gonna go Mike Green, pick 8, elite rusher for the Panthers. They need that.
I like it, Tay. I like it. Well, now with Mike Green, I haven't done research on it. I've heard about him. I know he's definitely one of the better ones for the edge rusher. But for you said who did he play for?
Marshall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he
have a movie too?
Did he have crazy sack stats, or was he just like an 8-10 sack guy, like normal average?
No, he was third for his position, so I believe he was over that 10 mark.
Oh, 15, something like that.
Yeah.
Because if now that maybe you got yourself Neil Mack on your hand,
Yeah.
Right. I like that pick. I went edge as well. I went with Jalen Walker out of Georgia. Yeah, they have Brown at DT. They just locked up Horn at cornerback. They have spots, right? So they have to replace Burns on the DN position. So makes a lot of sense.
I like that.
I have them going Will Campbell. I have them falling to 8. They like what they saw from Bryce, I think, last year. And why not just try to help protect him a little bit more?
I like that.
But this, I could also see them if it doesn't work out. Like they can also probably try to go get some more help on the receiving end, but it just depends on if they're there. All right, moving on at number 9, New Orleans Saints. Well, Dre, this would be
Patriots.
All right. Tay, who do you have the Saints taking at 9?
Saints take at 9. So I'm in agreement with you, Dre. I think the Saints go and get Shador, but I do think he drops down to 9.
Okay.
And that's just not because of him as a player, but just all these teams have solid quarterbacks. So except of course the Jets, but I think Jets still go OT. I think they're going to be stubborn and just stay with Justin Fields. But I think that that's why he kind of drops down to 9 as well. But I would like to see him in NOLA. I think it's a great culture for him to be in, a great team. So yeah, I got Shador going to New Orleans.
Love it. Just to save time, I also have them going to New Orleans. I think real quick, because we're in the greens. I think I just think with the news of Derek Carr may not be ready for the start of next year. You just got to move the fuck on. Go ahead and bring in Shador. And then that also leaves open the possibility of, Deion Sanders coaching there because I think their coach is on the hot seat.
Yeah,
He might have
that's
just signed an
right, huh?
extension. Yeah, so I'm all aboard the hype train on that one.
I could see it. I have the Patriots taking Will Campbell here. So protect May. They got to move back. They collected two second-round picks, one this year and one next year, for moving back from 4 to 9, maybe even more compensation than that, and they still get their guy that they didn't want to take at 4 once Carter and Hunter were already off the board. Boom.
All right. Let's close it out with 10. The Chicago Bears.
Whew. Dre, you want to go first on this one? I'm still collecting my thoughts.
I couldn't let Mason Graham slip out of my top 10. He actually probably should have went somewhere else. Even like I liked where you guys had him on Jacksonville, but since I felt like Jacksonville went O-line, I went with the Bears taking Mason Graham to kind of just shore up the defense a little bit. They invested in Montez Sweat. I don't know what they really have in the middle. They went and got somebody, older guy though, from the Falcons, right? Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but that's not like, so I could see them doing that.
I like that. Okay, so Bears. I think the Bears should trade this pick. So, my board got messed up because originally I had Chicago trading it to the Steelers, and then I had the Steelers going up and actually going to get one of the top quarterbacks. So, but that changed. We know they're still kind of targeting Aaron Rodgers, so I don't know. So I'm still gonna go Bears trading. This may just sound just disgusting, like and ugly, but Tyreek isn't happy. He's just not happy. So why not send him somewhere cold? So I think Miami trades Tyreek to Chicago. It's gonna be horrible. He's gonna go to Chicago, and then I think they go out there and get. I think that Miami goes out there and gets Matthew Golden at 10. Texas wide receiver. This sounds crazy, I know. But I think they are not happy with Tyreek. Tyreek's not happy there, so send him somewhere cold. And go get that young gun. In the draft for Tua to throw to. So that's my trade of the top 10, and that's where I'm at. Golden at 10.
I have them going Will Johnson, cornerback. I think because they need their defense could use a little bit of help. It was a little bit overhyped going into the season, and maybe a little bit at the start. I think some of their safeties led the league in missed tackles, and I think you got Jalen Johnson. Why not go ahead and shore up the other side with Will Johnson? So, and like you said, they brought in Grady Jarrett. They actually bolstered the offensive line pretty well this offseason. Tooney. Did you have them going Will Campbell, Dre? Or Will Campbell? No, you said Mason.
No, I haven't.
That'd be pretty cool too. Yeah, I think either way, I think defense would be the best move for them to go. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to maybe sneak back into the first round and try to get a receiver because they lost Keenan Allen. But yeah, I think they need to bolster that defense and hopefully make it so Caleb Williams doesn't have to go out there and throw a lot because I'm not the biggest believer in him. We'll talk about that in the dog days of the summer. But that will close out our NFL draft segment and the episode for the week. We were at 1 hour and 50 minutes. Jeez Louise. We didn't get to Dre's MLB update, so we'll be sure to give him the extra segment next episode. And yeah, guys, thank you for rocking with us. Like, comment, subscribe, leave some comments and some questions if you guys have anything you'd like us to answer or talk about. And anything from you guys, fellas?
Thank you guys.
Lakers in 5.
Ooh.
PGA, SGA, USA. Lakers in 5.
USA. USA.
All right, you guys. Have a good one. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.